Hi guys, and welcome to a general gameplay video for the KV-220. Now, I've already had the review out. The Is It Worth It for the KV-220 was released a week or maybe a couple of weeks ago, depending on when I choose to release this video. But if you're familiar with my channel, or if you're familiar with how I do things, what I do before a review is I usually release a general gameplay video because I end up recording a lot of footage for a Is It Worth It review, and I don't use most of it, and because it's already recorded, it seems an awful waste to just bin it. I put out a quick gameplay video with the unused footage, and then I do the review. But because I was doing the review for the KV-220 in a hurry, I wanted to get it out while it was on sale, and people could take advantage of seeing what the tank was like before making a decision whether or not to purchase it on the few days it was available. I didn't use the uncut footage for a general gameplay video. There just wasn't time. So I was clearing out my hard drive, making space so that I can make more videos, and I had a usual problem. And that problem is, the better a tank is, the more great replays I have for it. And pretty much every replay for the KV-220 could have been used in the review, but I chose not to for one reason or another. In this video today, I've basically I've ended up binning about, I'd say 60% of the footage I've already recorded, otherwise the video would be too long. But what I've done is I've put 3 replays into this one video that give you kind of a mini review of the KV-220, and as you can see, I'm platooned with Neon Travels and Beyond D in a recent game in the KV-220, and this is a game I was going to be using for the overview game for the review, but I decided to choose the other one instead. But rather than bin this footage, I've decided to put it together with another couple of replays that give you a good demonstration of the KV-220. Here we go. So we are on Redshire, and I indicate to Neon and Beyond that my plan is to head down the zero line, and I'm just going to keep going, because that's what the KV-220 does. Now, even though I'm top tier and in an awesome tank, the enemy have a lot of tanks that can pen me. There's a lot of TDs on the enemy team, and Arty, and all of those tanks can hurt me. They've got penetration that easily outmatches the 100mm of front and side armor I have. But that doesn't deter me. The plan is to head straight down the zero line and just keep rolling. Beyond is heading over to the cap in his Chinokai, and Neon is going to be supporting me in her KV-1. So we are just rolling. So the enemy team are already capping, but I trust Beyond is going to be able to put a stop to that. And tanks are appearing in front of me. Our M5 Stuart has done some really good scouting, so well played to the Stuart. So T-28, no fear, I'm angled, stay angled, get a shot in, get another shot in, and ram him to death. So remember, I told you that the KV-220 was a great rammer in the review. Well, there's another example of it. You can just be a huge bully. So Arty has just missed me. I know that there's another Arty just over the ridge, and there he is. So he shotguns me, even though I was reversing. He does manage to get a shot in. There's a Matilda around the corner, and I go to work on him. Now, I haven't fired any premium rounds yet. I'm just using standard ammo, but I'm aiming badly. There we go, that's better. So Arty has put another shot into me for 87 damage, but I've taken out the Matilda. Now it's the Hetzer. I'm angled, and again, no damage from the Hetzer, straight into my tracks. So front of the Hetzer can be quite troll, so I do switch to premium, and now I'm back to normal ammo. And we're just going to keep rolling. Enemy team are down to 7 tanks. And the speed of this tank goes against me. Nealon gets a good kill on the Vespa, but you can see the Ram 2 is easily outpacing me. Trying to get to enemy tanks before they all disappear. Okay, we've got shots on the S-35CA. And again, this is not an accurate gun, but if you take your time, like I didn't there, you aim carefully, you will hit and you will kill. It's a lot more accurate than it seems to be on paper. So I'm up to kill number 4. I've got plenty of health left, 396 health. And this PZ-SFL-4C is a pretty dangerous tank. Has no problems penning me. So I'm struggling to get up the hill. As I say, engine power is not one of this tank's strengths. Okay, so I'm going to try and get my gun on target. And there we go. Fired on the move. He put one shot into me. Get another shot into me before he can reload and fire. So we're up to 5 kills. I need one more for Top Gun. 2 enemy tanks left. There's the Birch gun. Aiming, 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 aiming. And the shot just tracks him. Shot goes low and tracks him. So opportunity number 1 for Top Gun goes. Orangey hates me. 1 enemy tank left. And in hindsight, I think this is a better example than the one I used in the review of how well this tank plays. It covers everything. The longer aim time than usual, the fact it can ram, the ability to use non-premium ammo and have no problems penning tanks. But there we go. I fire my shot just a few seconds too late and Top Gun is denied. So this was going to be an overview game, but for some reason I ended up choosing the other one used in the review. So in the second replay from the unused footage, I found myself platooned completely by chance with Beyond D again. You know, it's an older replay because it's Sacred Valley and this map is no longer in rotation. I did like this map. It's a heck of a lot better than some of the maps currently in rotation. Far less campy, and you could have a lot of fun games on Sacred Valley. It's a shame they removed it from the game. But we're going way, way back. This is my second ever game in the KV-220, and this replay was filed under gun. So there's going to be some demonstration of the gun on the KV-220. Here we go. So plan is to head north. I'm in the 220, and Beyond is in the KV-220's cousin, the other Tier 5 Russian heavy premium tank, the Churchill 3. And I believe both of these tanks are equally good. They both have different strengths and different weaknesses. And even though my engine is not great, it's definitely faster than Beyond in the Churchill 3. So we're heading north. And it doesn't look as if we're going to have a lot of support. We've got a lot of tanks still sitting in D2 and spawn. Only the Crusader and myself with Beyond have come up here. VK has finally decided to come up and join us. Alright, a few more tanks have finally decided to leave spawn and move up. But my second game ever in the 220, so I'm a little bit more cautious. Still feeling out this tank. And I'm waiting for enemy tanks to advance. And really, if I knew what I knew now about this tank, I would have just charged. I would have just kept moving, I would have kept going down the hill and kept advancing along the beeline. So eventually, I decide to Enemy have started capping. And again, I'm being very, very cautious here. I can't help feeling that Beyond is using me as a meat shield right now, even though he's got far, far better frontal armor. But didn't notice that at the time. So Beyond has stopped to take on the VK in the middle of the map, and I'm just going to keep rolling. We're tier 5s in a tier 6 game. There are a lot of tanks on the enemy team that can hurt me. My 100mm of frontal armor means absolutely nothing to the KV-1Ss. So I poke the corner and I get spotted. So I have a feeling that there's something down here. And that arty, incredible view range, or incredible camo, did not spot the arty. So trying to get my gun on target here and end up having to advance and expose my tank. Fire on the move and miss. There we go. And a Dicker Max fires an HE shell and it goes straight through the front of my tank. Nashhorn up on the ridge. He has no problems penning me, but thankfully he's been set on fire. I reckon I'm off radar now, and there's that Dicker Max. So we aim carefully. Well, actually we don't. We take a snapshot, put it in. But I'm not using premium ammo. And there we go. We've just bounced a KV-1S, we've just bounced a T-49, and forgive my horrible gameplay. As I say, it's my second game in the tank, and I'm kind of just testing it out. So the angling prevented damage from the KV-1S and the T-49. Both tanks would have absolutely no problems going through me frontally. There's the KV-1S, and I'm still using just standard ammo. And I don't know why these shots aren't going in. I'm convinced that I'm hitting this KV-1S, and it's possible I am hitting a tank that happens to be sitting in front of him. But we get a good shot on the T-49, and then a nice blind kill. AT-2 going to be very, very difficult to hurt, so I'm trying to track him. And those shots aren't going in. Okay, KV-1, we can pen the side. He only has 75mm of side armor. We just have to hit him, but none of these shots are going in. I don't know what I'm hitting. That one definitely went low. And that one would have gone low too. So at very, very far distances, the gun really does suffer a little bit. However, no more targets of opportunity on the top of the ridge. We're going to continue to advance. And I do know, and I do mention it in my review, that I fire a lot of premium in this tank, but I actually don't need to. I simply do it for convenience, because this is one of my stress relief tanks. However, you actually don't need to if you aim at weak spots. So I'm on 3 kills, just 2 enemy tanks left. And in close to medium range distances, the gun is great. At long distance, it's not so good. So we'll just speed it up here. AT-2, KV-1 on the ridge. Don't get to the KV-1. We're going to move in on the KV-2, or the AT-2. I switch to premium ammo because it's going to be very difficult to pen. And we bounce. We bounce again. And we finally get a shot in. And Beyond manages the kill. So that last replay was in my cut footage just to show off the gun and how it can perform. This is the last replay of the video, and we are here on Airfield, and this was plucked out of the footage I cut from the review for just a demonstration of the armor on the KV-220. We are here on Airfield, and to cut a long story short, it's a 56%er. There's a KV-1 platoon on the enemy team. However, we don't win this. But this is simply to show the armor. Here we go. So my first order of business is to get into position and to engage the KV-1 platoon. You saw me do something similar in the review vid. where I took on another KV-1 platoon. So we're just charging forward, and again, I'm fairly quick, but a lot of tanks get there before I do. So I decide to flank. It's too crowded up there on that corner. So I'm flanking, and there's a Stug. So I go to work on the Marder 38T. I should be angled sufficiently against the Stug, and there's a KV-1 around the corner. Stug is bounced, and we're going to be working on this KV-1. So I missed my track shot. There we go. He's not looking at me, so I want to keep him tracked. Marder's back, and now I'm angling against the KV-1. He's bouncing. And I've finally taken my first hit. The Marder put a shot in, firing... or the Marder just put a shot in. I'm starting to take a lot of damage. I'm trying to angle against about 5 enemy tanks here. So the KV-1 is not happy I took out his friend. He is shooting HE at me. In fact, every tank is now shooting HE at me. My commander was dead, my loader was dead, I'm now getting hit by arty. I am being decimated by HE. So my loader is dead, and I've already used my first aid kit on my commander. I'm out of the Stug's line of fire. And again, I missed my track shot, but if you take a look at the hits down below, I've taken 16 hits so far. Most of them were HE. So, no, just a hint of a shot at the Stug. And we're bouncing. And again, he's just bouncing on me. KV-1 is moving up. Now, I don't think I'm in any danger. I've got 4 tanks behind me. I'm just checking to make sure I'm not being flanked. And we're continuing to bounce. So the Stug and the KV-1 have bounced. But we've just lost 3 tanks. We've just lost 3 more tanks very, very quickly. I'm up to 18 shots, so I decide to track the KV-1. And then I hear the Marder is flanking me. I just heard that from his engine. So we take out the Marder. And now we go back to work on the KV-1, and I'm facing the KV-1. I'm badly angled against the KV-1, so I change my angle. Put another shot in. He only manages to track me. And I'm going for weak spots, but this dead loader is going to kill me. KV-1 puts one in through my turret, and then retreats. So the Stug has moved down. Su-76 has moved down, so I need to get below their gun lines. I'm going to try and finish this KV-1. And I missed my kill shot. I only managed to track him. But just taking a shot from a second Stug who's just come up directly behind me. Finish off the first Stug. And there we go. Second Stug. It bounces on my rear. And unfortunately I missed my kill shot again. And this dead loader. Okay, kill the Stug. And Su-76 has bounced a couple of shots, but I have now taken 36 hits. BDR is coming down behind me, KV-1 in front of me, and I miss my kill shot. So I missed 3 potential kill shots on that KV-1. I was completely surrounded, getting shot from all sides, and that's how it rolls. So there we go. 37 shots required to take me down, and most of them were from tanks that should easily be able to pen me. And I think that's a pretty good demonstration of the armor on the tank. Now, I do, believe it or not, have 3 or 4 more games in the KV-220, but I'm not going to subject them to you. I think I've covered everything I wanted to and included all the replays I wanted to. I just have so many replays for this tank that are really, really good demonstrations of what it's capable of, and that's always the sign of a good tank. I ran into that problem with the Locust. I ran into the same problem with the T2 Lite. The better a tank is, the more great replays I seem to have, and the more difficulty I have in choosing what replays to include and what ones to cut. But it's a little bit late. As I say, I normally release a gameplay video before I release an Is It Worth It, but there you go, better late than never. There's the gameplay video for the KV-220, featuring some, not all, but some of the cut footage from the review. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.